Maurice Berkeley and Braden Smith are deep. And the kick will be over the head of Braden Smith. And that means we'll get a look at the redshirt junior from Montgomery, Alabama, Malik Cunningham, who, to be honest with you, gets his 21st career start today. And Scott Satterfield said before the year we had very high expectations. And I'd say for the most part, even when things weren't going great, Cunningham was meeting them.
Yeah, when we talked to him earlier this week, he pointed at the fact that sometimes the deep ball hasn't quite been there for them this year, especially the ones that have been available to Tutu Atwell, because they've had some, but lately it seemed to get more in sync, and we'll see if that continues.
That's Atwell in motion. First down, a play fake by Cunningham. Pressure coming, and he'll go down. Justice Reed fights through for the Hokies, and Virginia Tech plays behind the line on the first snap.
Interesting to see Louisville go with the play action on the first play of the game, trying to take one of those shots. Justice Reed able to knife into the backfield and get a big play to open the game for Virginia Tech.
They take the tight end out, bring another receiver on the field now for 2nd and 23. 13-yard loss on the sack of Cunningham. And Hawkins first carry. He'll push for about 3 yards to the 15. Well, it looked like after the first snap, Virginia Tech had plenty of energy that Justin Fuente wanted to know about last week, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The defense came to make a statement early on, it seems like. Justice Reed is going to have to carry the lunch pail for this defensive line with Emmanuel Belmar out today as well.
Yep. Here's the third down play, and this is Hawkins ripping it off. Here's Javian Hawkins, first down, and taken out of bounds. So the Cards get the fuse lit on the third down play, and Devin Taylor maybe saves the touchdown.
Well, it's just an outside zone play, and it looks like there's a hold on it, so this one's going to come back. You see it right there, number 55 in the middle of your screen, Caleb Chandler. Gets the holding call, but an explosive run. It just shows you how Javian Hawkins doesn't need much. We're going to see that stretch zone a lot today. And unfortunately for Louisville, this one comes back.
Yep. So it rips off a run, or negates the run that Hawkins ripped off, I should say. And now a Louisville team who is 6th in the league and 53rd nationally at under 41% on third down. Roddy, they're just 8 of their last 18. And Cunningham to throw, pressure coming, and here's Hawkins in the flat. And he will get to the 16, 17-yard line. That Virginia Tech bench keyed up after Taylor's tackle on Javian Hawkins.
And the energy on that bench, as you mentioned earlier, it seems to be there today. Justin Fuente said it was a big focus because of a week ago, it seemed that it wasn't there. But a nice first series for this Virginia Tech defense.
We showed you the list of players unavailable. Also Ryan Harwell, the punter. So that means that Logan Lupo, who had a 55-yard punt earlier this year against Pittsburgh and comes in averaging just under 39 yards, will punt it away. Tavion Robinson, the fair catch up near midfield, and a good starting position for Hendon Hooker and Virginia Tech here.
Yeah. This Virginia Tech offense is really based on the run. And much like Louisville, they mirror each other pretty well. The difference is this guy, Hendon Hooker for Virginia Tech, is going to be a big part of that quarterback run game in a different way than Malik Cunningham will. You see his stats against Wake Forest. What's not included is that is what he did on the ground. 17 carries for 98 yards a week ago.
36-yard punt, and now the Hokies near midfield. And on the first play, here's Khalil Herbert breaking free, and Herbert will be taken down at the 25 of the Cards.
We've seen Louisville run that stretch zone play, and there Virginia Tech runs it. Just a little crease is all Khalil Herbert needs, and with the defensive line absences that Louisville has, it is going to be so important for the linebackers in the secondary to fit those mistakes that a young, inexperienced defensive line could make.
27-yard run for Herbert. Here's Hooker handing it to him one more time, and the grad transfer from Kansas will dig for 2, maybe 3 yards to the 22 before he got pushed back. So Khalil Herbert, who showed up on the campus after leaving the KU program. And by the way, at Kansas, 35 games, 1,700 yards, and 14 scores. And all he's done is become one of the FBS's best this year.
He absolutely has. When you put a guy like that behind an offensive line like the one Virginia Tech has, you get magic.
Two tights, and the Hokies move one out, and this is Hooker now on the keep. And Hendon Hooker took a big lick, ball popped loose, and a scramble around the 14. Fago, the safety, jarred it loose, but it was recovered by Virginia Tech.
Again, it's just a zone play. This time they go with Hooker, and Fago comes out of the secondary. That ball falls down. I can't see who it was that jumped on it, but Virginia Tech fortunate that they got a friendly bounce on that one.
Yeah, Louisville, who's only been able to post 4 takeaways on the year, went hunting for sure. Ends up being a first down. And look at Khalil Herbert step through one tackle inside the 10 and drives toward the 6 before he's helped out of bounds down there in front of Eric Wood. Big fella's got a good seat for Khalil Herbert here early.
Khalil Herbert is he's fun to watch. You see all the explosiveness earlier. That time you saw him step through a tackle with some lower body strength.
Yep. 2nd and short. And here's Hooker on the keep and the score. 5th rushing touchdown for Hendon Hooker. And Virginia Tech goes in front.
Down near the goal line, Hendon Hooker becomes a huge weapon. You see Khalil Herbert out front leading the way, but that offensive line has just opened up hole after hole after hole. A lot of it happening on the left side behind big Lasita Smith and Christian Darrisaw.
5 plays, 53 yards, 204. And the point after by Brian Johnson is good. Well, Virginia Tech got an early stop, and then the Hokies points in the first quarter, Roddy. In fact, in their 2 losses, they've been outscored 31-0 in the first quarter. And now all of a sudden, Hendon Hooker's made it look easy in 5 snaps.
Well, that offensive line made it look easy, Wes. The holes were massive against a depleted Louisville defensive line. The question is, what adjustments does Louisville make on defense so that that doesn't happen all day?
There'll be no return for Braden Smith. And so now the Cards find themselves behind. Remember the hot start last week against Florida State? Outscoring the Noles 21-7 in that first period of play. I think it'll be interesting to see how possession number 2 goes here for Satterfield's team.
It will be, and because of the lack of depth on the defense and the fact that Virginia Tech's going to have some success, they're going to need more of this. You see, this is just the first half. They only had the ball 12 minutes and 58 seconds, but when you're 9.8 yards per rush and 12 of 13 through the air, it doesn't matter how long you have the ball. You're putting the ball in the end zone.
Cunningham looking to throw on first down. This is Tutu Atwell's first touch of the day, and got nearly 10 before he's taken down in the secondary by Breon Murray.
Got Tutu right there in the bunch formation. He's going to slip out in the flat, fake like he's blocking, get back out. They're lucky to corral him before he really got going.
Cards got to get reset. They had both Ford and Pfeiffer moving at the same time, and they try to get it to Hawkins. And the Hokies bottle him up, and there's Divine Diablo chasing him into the bench area on the first down play.
Oh, Divine Diablo. This is a guy that's listed as a safety. He's going to play at linebacker level a lot today, but he's standing 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage to try and disrupt that zone play. It was a nice job by number 17 of getting in the backfield and ushering Hawkins out of bounds.
Did not play in the loss at Carolina, nor the week prior to against Duke. Had 11 total tackles last 2 ball games, though, and wins against BC in the loss last week to Wake Forest. And there's Hawkins stopped again, and the first guy there was Tisdale.
Alan Tisdale, number 34. You'll see his length, able to get off the block and then bring down Hawkins. It's a really nice job of fighting through some adversity there. Creates a 3rd and long. This is not where Louisville wants to be.
Nope. And you see Cunningham with Hawkins with him. You got Braden Smith and a package with Marshall in here. Hokies bring 4. Cunningham can't get away, and Reed's got his 2nd sack. In 2 possessions, Justice Reed has posted a pair of sacks here for the Hokies.
He's on the left side of your screen, one-on-one against Renato Brown. A really nice move as Cunningham tries to climb in the pocket to rally back to him and bring down the quarterback. Justice Reed, the transfer from Youngstown State, has really stepped up here early in this game. We mentioned Emmanuel Belmar out. He's that disruptive force in the defensive line, but Reed has picked up the slack.
Sure has. And on the 4th play, they will punt it away. And Robinson fields it over his shoulder at the 20. Tries to reroute, and he'll be taken out of bounds around the 21-yard line. But Virginia Tech already in front. 8:09 to play, first period here in Louisville. Hokies will have it when we come back.
Fake orbit one way, he goes back to the other. They throw a little bubble screen to him. Nobody's around him. You got to cover this guy and keep track of where that motion is going. And the other thing they're going to do, though, is throw the ball deep. This is what they love. The post up the middle. You split those safeties. Tutu Atwell's going to run between them, and it's dangerous.
After the 50-yard punt, here's Hooker just flipping it to Mitchell, the tight end. And James Mitchell will pick up right at about 5 on first down. As Virginia Tech throws it for the first time today, if you want to call that a throw. It's more like a little flip to Mitchell, the big tight end, who, by the way, has 16 catches, and that leads Virginia Tech in receptions.
Yeah, he's versatile. We're going to talk a lot about him today if Virginia Tech decides to take the ball off the ground.
Yep. They went 53 yards on 5 running plays, and here's Hooker. That's Trey Turner. And it'll be a first down, shy at the 33. And Turner still in search of his first touchdown.
Interesting that we saw 2 runs to start this drive, or excuse me, 2 passes to start this drive, Wes. 5 straight runs on the first drive. All 5 of those runs going behind the left side of that offensive line. They've really liked the matchup there. See if they go back to it with the back offset to the right.
See Mitchell in motion. Here's Hooker. Little play fake. And that's Mitchell again out in space around the edge. The big tight end. He gets it to midfield. And the Hokies are moving with it.
Well, this ends up being a nice play for Virginia Tech. But watch Khalil Herbert right up the seam. The running back's wide open. Hendon Hooker decides to go to James Mitchell, and they get a nice game, but they'd have had a touchdown if they throw it to Mitchell, because the running back leaking out of the backfield was, he was running scot-free, as my coach used to say, down the middle of the field.
Ball at the stripe here for Hooker. And this is Raheem Blackshear trying to make it. And he will pick up 5, almost 7 on first down, where it didn't look like Blackshear, the transfer from Rutgers, was going to have very much. Don't forget, Game 3 of our ACC Network triple header comes up next. ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. The South's oldest rivalry, number 15, North Carolina and Virginia meet for a 125th time tonight at Scott Stadium. Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, Katie George on hand. Available tonight also on the ESPN app. Very interesting night of football at Scott Stadium.
It's already been an interesting day of football in the ACC. How about Clemson escaping?
Yep. Here is Turner on the sweep. And Trey Turner picks up the first down and more. Inside the 35 to the 34. The tackle made by the linebacker C.J. Avery. Roddy, I'll go back now to the 2 passes that started the drive. Was Virginia Tech poking a little bit at Louisville's defense?
Honestly, I think they were still on script. So those were the next plays up. And this jet sweep, them testing the perimeter of Louisville.
A little bit of tempo, and the Cards play it well. And Louisville gets Kentrey Clark on the hit. Keitrell Clark is a transfer from Liberty. I think he's been pretty solid all year long for them.
He has been. He's been one of the big surprises, one of the bigger surprises. This is a pretty experienced defense that has played a lot better as of late. Much more competitive as they've gotten in the second year under Brian Brown. Remember, this is a defense that had different defensive coordinators for a number of years in a row before Brian Brown showed up.
Second and long now. Hooker in trouble, trying to escape the pocket and cannot against the Cards' pressure. Avery was in there at the end, but Fago, again, the safety around the ball.
Off the play action, they just decide to bring a couple guys, the linebackers, and you like the rallying to the football. Just look at the number of black jerseys in the backfield around Hendon Hooker. And much like Louisville, Virginia Tech doesn't want to be in these third and long situations. But watch James Mitchell. He's going to be in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Second man from the bottom is James Mitchell, his favorite target.
You see the 2-by-2 for the Hokies on 3rd and 13. Hooker cuts back upfield. Bounces into one and will be taken down, and a flag thrown in behind the play at the 28. Into the stack and a marker down there. And here is referee Jerry Magallanes on Virginia Tech.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 76, 15-yard penalty, replay, third down.
And that is Brock Hoffman. I know Eric Wood is stunned to see his center get involved in the fray here.
Yeah, in this stadium, they're not supposed to call penalties on the center. That was an interesting play call there by Virginia Tech. This new wave of offensive play calling, super creative in college football right now. That was a drop back pass, and the offensive line gets the key that when the ball's not out, it turns into a QB draw. That's phenomenal play calling.
Yep. Brad Cornelson, the offensive coordinator, with Justin Fuente, and here is Blackshear back in the game, and boy, nothing there. And Nick Okeke, the outside linebacker, number 11. And we've got an injured card on the play. Roger Burns, yeah. And we got a 4th down play coming up here, just ahead of 3 minutes.
This is already a Louisville defense that's without number of offensive linemen. Monty Montgomery.
State Irish poised to make it a 2-score game. Kyron Williams will cough that thing up. Zamari Walton, take me home today. Not tonight. Takes that at 93 yards to the touchdown. The game squared away at 7 early second quarter now. Back to you, Wes, Roddy, and Ewood.
You wear the Black Watch jerseys, you get a Black Watch play. Here's the punt toward the end zone. And Bradford's punt gets to the paint, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. And here comes the Louisville offense, Eric.
I talked to Dwayne Ledford before the game, and he talked about with all the guys out on defense, they have to sustain drives today. They cannot hurt themselves. Loss with penalties. First play of the game, big sack. Then they convert the 3rd down, a penalty. That's exactly what he was talking about. 2 short drives for the offense. Makes that stop by the Louisville defense even more significant there. This is a drive right here where the Cardinals need to sustain themselves.
That's a good point, Eric. And time of possession so important. This is a thin defense with inexperience up front. Virginia Tech's going to have success. You're going to have to put up points.
That's Atwell in motion. Here is Cunningham on that boot. And trying to squeeze it, and does, into traffic. Ball is caught by Des Fitzpatrick. And now a flag comes in behind the play from the Virginia Tech secondary after Fitzpatrick worked his way up the field for a 1st down. And Jerry Magallanes will huddle. The back judge is Robert Lukeland.
Holding during the run, offense, number 14, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Ian Pfeiffer, the tight end, former offensive lineman, moved to tight end. which has kind of reversed the process that offensive coordinator Dwayne Ledford has had throughout his career. He usually takes tight ends and makes them offensive linemen.
Well, Scott Satterfield's got to be frustrated with a couple of penalties early in this game. You had the third down that they converted, but a holding penalty brought it back, and now you wipe some yardage off because of the penalty there.
Yep, we're trying to get Hawkins going here, and he runs right into the edge. That's Ashby, who prior to the start of the season, Rayshard Ashby, Breon Murray also on the tackle. But Rayshard Ashby's off to a slow start this year, Roddy.
Yeah, and you're going to see Breon Murray come off the side of your screen. That was just a corner blitz. They run it from the boundary to try and anticipate Louisville running that way. So really nice call by Justin Hamilton, the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech.
All right, second down, 7 to go. Cunningham from the pocket, hit as he throws, intercepted on the backside, picked off by Devin Taylor of the Hokies. And he'll return it back to the Louisville 31-yard line. So Cunningham throws his 6th interception of the year, and any kind of momentum Louisville is trying to build has been thwarted by Virginia Tech here.
Well, it was the pressure that forced this throw that went high. So coming off the edge, you had the nickel blitz, and Malik Cunningham just overthrows it. A nice job by Devin Taylor of being Johnny on the spot and making the play, but it was the nickel blitz off the edge, the dive over the top of Javian Hawkins in pass coverage that forced that overthrow. And Virginia Tech is in great field position.
Hokies go to +3 on takeaway giveaway, their 9th turnover of the year, and the drive starts at the Louisville 33-yard line, and already a 7-0 lead for Fuente's team.
And this goes back to what Eric was just talking about. Making mistakes on offense, costing your defense, because now this defense, it's been on the field for most of the first quarter, is back out having to defend.
2 tight end look again, and here is Herbert slashing through the left side. Khalil Herbert, and a flag down as he's bumped out near the 16-yard line. Thrown in the neighborhood of a hold. Might have been on the perimeter against one of the receivers.
Holding, offense, number 11, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Going to see Trey Turner on the left side of your screen come in, and there's the hold on number 3, Russ East. You got a lot of holds here early on.
Yep.
Referee's arms are getting a workout.
So the infraction pushes the ball back to the 35. Or it'll be first down and 12. Blackshear's come in the ball game to spell Herbert. They move him to the bottom of the screen as you look at it. Now we'll reset him with Hooker. Hooker loads for the field and caught. Turner inside the 5. Yeast there to make the tackle, but Trey Turner does the damage. First and goal at the 3 for Virginia Tech.
It's a really nice route concept. You're going to get an over route, a post route, and then a go on the outside, and Turner's right there in the middle. See, the underneath route takes the safety. Turner gets one-on-one with Russ East and is able to win that route. Justin Fuente said he's looking for more separation from these receivers. That was a nice job by Trey Turner and Hendon Hooker finding him.
Jalen Holston's coming to backfield to work with Hooker. And Hooker will keep and drive for the end zone, and Virginia Tech has scored again with the quarterback on the ground. Here in the final minute of period 1, Hendon Hooker gets his 2nd touchdown run.
Once again, going to the left side of that offensive line. See big number 74, Doug Nestor, with the kick-out block. Hendon Hooker's able to find the end zone.
And here is the point after by Johnson. It's good. Wow. They're using the big offensive line to their advantage in both the run and the throw game now, Roddy.
Well, they certainly are. And the ability to make the big play down the field, if Virginia Tech's able to do that, it's going to be tough for Louisville to be able to defend. And here's the conundrum that Brian Brown has. You've got a decimated defensive line, so you have to commit more numbers to help protect those guys in the run game. But if you do that, you get one-on-one down the field. And as we saw with Trey Turner, Virginia Tech is able to win that. So the question is, what do you do now from here?
Eric?
Yeah, Roddy, and looking at the run game and where Virginia Tech is attacking this Louisville defense is right at those two defensive ends, both starting defensive ends for Louisville out on the day. Everything is going off tackle. Nothing is cutting back. These running backs, as you know, Roddy, is a former running back. It must be nice to put your foot in the ground, one cut straight up the field. This offensive line has been dominant so far.
Yeah, it's such a good point. When you have those defensive linemen in, those defensive ends, if they create pressure, then you're having to cut back. But when everything stays front side, it makes it really easy for a running back to feel good about what's going on. That's what you used to do for your guys, you would, keep them front side.
Yeah, my man Brock Hoffman in the middle, the center that I absolutely love for Virginia Tech. He's got a lighter day today so far because everything is hitting off tackle. And then when you get down in the red zone with a 6'4", 220-pound quarterback, he's punched both of them in.
Braden Smith will watch that ball go out near the pylon, and it did get into the end zone. So the Cards will take over. Their fourth possession will start at their 25-yard line. And this is such a dynamically different first period of play, Roddy, for Scott Satterfield's team than last Saturday, where they were throwing haymakers and took a big advantage early. Outscored Florida State 21-7, had everything rolling their way. Now this team that snapped their losing skid last week's got to get up off the deck here a little bit.
Yeah, it feels more like a game that we did earlier this year against Pitt.
That's it.
Where Louisville just could not get going offensively early and found themselves behind.
Here is Hawkins breaking through one tackle and won't get very much at all. Shamari Connor, who led Virginia Tech in tackles coming into the ball game, listed as a nickel, but really kind of plays down in the box a lot. He and Tisdale involved there on the stop. No gain, so second in the full 10 coming up for this Louisville team. And the Cards made it look easy last Saturday. This will be anything but after the start now, where they trail by 2 scores. Cunningham on the boot again, back across. There's Pfeiffer, the tight end. First catch there, got knocked down. Big play in the secondary by Chapman.
This is what Louisville likes to do off that zone stretch play. It's run the naked boot, and the couple of times they've done it, it's been the backside over route, the backside drag that's come open. So we've got looks like a Louisville Cardinal down on the field.
So the first catch for Pfeiffer of the day, and that's Jalen Griffin.
I got confused by all the black sweatsuits of the Virginia Tech staff.
Yeah. So Jalen Griffin comes off the field. He's the guy with Emmanuel Belmar out today. Griffin takes on even more importance for Justin Hamilton. So that's the final play of the first as well after they restart the clock. 2-touchdown lead for Virginia Tech after 1. 2. Here's Cunningham. And the throw on first down. The tight end Marshawn Ford into Virginia Tech territory. Good way for Louisville to start quarter 2 here, Roddy.
Yeah,
Breon Murray the stop.
Yeah, they snuck him out of the backfield. Had the 2 tight ends back there with Malik Cunningham. And Ford just runs a little wheel up the boundary. It's a nice completion for this Louisville offense, and Scott Satterfield has to hope that gets him going a little bit.
Yeah, Louisville only averaged 2.5 yards a play in the first period after averaging over 9 in the first period last week against Florida State. And here's Hawkins trying to break free, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. All right, so here in the first period, we're 2 snaps into quarter 2. We have seen Virginia Tech hold the football, limit Louisville really with what they've done defensively, and give the Cards a lot to think about through 15 minutes.
They have. The fact that Virginia Tech has gone right at this Louisville defense is not all that surprising. The thing that is surprising is how much penetration Virginia Tech has been able to get and how effective they've been at getting to the quarterback. And in a game where Louisville can't afford to give the ball back quick, they've had a turnover as well.
Here's Cunningham on a boot. And he'll take off and lunge past Diablo. Not quite sure he reached the first down mark. So 3rd and short perhaps coming up for the Ville quarterback.
Nice job.
We talked to Justin Fuente, 3rd and short, 4th and short. He talked about a double slice play. Louisville use a lot of play action with guys coming across the formation. They either hand it off on a slice run up the middle or a guy slipping out into the flat in play action.
That's a good call, he would. It's their go-to in these situations.
His pistol set with the staple of the center field offense, and Virginia Tech played it well, guys. The Hokies blasted through and made it look easy because Tisdale was right there again.
It looked like Malik Cunningham was riding that as if he was reading a defender off the edge. And this is a pull all the way if that's true. You got double slant, a slant coming from both sides, a blitz off the edge. So he had the option to pull that, which it looked like he did. He should have pulled it. It would have been one-on-one with Rashard Ashby.
Well, Barno, by the way, was also in there with Tisdale. Here's the 4th down play, and they stop him. Javian Hawkins cannot get cranked up. Marker down on the play at the line of scrimmage. Tisdale again, the tackle for Virginia Tech.
Personal foul, shot block offense, number 55 and number 74. Penalties declined. The line of game was not made. First down, Virginia Tech.
So Louisville over 13, Notre Dame at number 1, North Carolina. Closes down Sunday Best right here on ACC Network and always on the ESPN app. 4th possession for the Hokies and a 2-touchdown lead, and Hooker looking to throw off his own 32, and wide open is Trey Turner. And he will crash to the 35 of Louisville. So Trey Turner tackled by Russ Yeast. And all of a sudden, he and Hooker got something going here.
This is just a form of play action. Hendon Hooker looks like he's going to run the quarterback sweep. And after taking a few steps, he drops back. And Trey Turner's wide open. Ran a little post corner route. Lost Russ Yeast. But watch this. This is just play action. It looks like quarterback sweep all the way. Clears out the underneath trash. You get one-on-one down the field. And Trey Turner is able to find acres of space.
4 catches, 70 yards here for Turner. And Hooker is perfect in the ball game. Now from the 34, and look at Herbert bouncing off one, and open field for Khalil Herbert. He'll drive inside the 10, 1st and goal for the Hokies. As we get toward the 6-yard line of Louisville early here in Q2 on another great Khalil Herbert run.
It's just been all Virginia Tech so far. Jack Fagot comes down the field and tries to tackle Herbert, but you see the balance and just the low center of gravity, and Herbert's able to get a big run.
And here's the cutback on the 1st and goal play. A couple more yards for Khalil Herbert. He got 28 a moment ago. Ronnie, he's got 78 yards on 6 carries.
Well, after being held to 64 a week ago, his season low, he is reasserting himself as one of the dominant forces at running back in the league. And, what a get for Virginia Tech.
Oh,
I mean, Justin Fuente said we knew he could play, but we scouted him as a person. He's been an awesome addition to this program.
and Herbert will get the call here, and the Cards knife through to chop him down. C.J. Avery, the linebacker. Nasir Abdullah around the football as well.
On the season, this has been a good red zone defense for the Cards.
Yep.
They rank second in the ACC so far today. Virginia Tech has punched both of them in with Hendon Hooker on the ground, making it look like a throwback to Cam Newton out there. We'll see if they go back to him on third down here.
They bring zero Jalen Holston in the ball game. That's Turner in motion. And Hooker trying for the hat trick on the ground, and the Cards stack him up at the one.
You would play an offensive coordinator knowing exactly what Justin Fuente is going to go with. And if I'm Justin Fuente, I'm going for it here. It's fourth down. Your defense has been playing great. You're on the 1 yard line. And that quarterback power, the quarterback run has worked so well. So I would anticipate either that or you fake that and go with a pop pass, or maybe slip James Mitchell or Nick Gallo, one of these two tight ends, out to the flat.
I know you like Mitchell on the crosser along the back line here, don't you?
Well, I love Mitchell everywhere he goes.
That's Turner again in motion. Hooker will keep it, dive for the touchdown. Third rushing score of the day for Hendon Hooker, giving him 7 on the year.
He just faked the jet sweep going across. The offensive line caves it down. He gets a little bit of space, and they dive into the end zone to make sure. And then how about that? E. Wood talked about the Cam Newton throwback. He did the Cam Newton Superman after he scored the touchdown.
Wow. 3 touchdowns in 4 possessions, 6 plays, 68 yards. The point after is good in under 3 minutes, guys. And the Hokies have built a 3-touchdown lead.
And it's all set up by the run game. I mean, the ability to go off play action to create the space to let Trey Turner work. Whether it's Hendon Hooker or sticking the ball in the belly of Khalil Herbert,
right?
It's all been effective.
Braden Smith will return this, collected it at the 1, and will make it to about the 23 or 24-yard line before he is taken down on the play. Shamari Connor, the Hokies' leading tackler down there. Looks like a flag is also around the spot of the play. Meanwhile, Malik Cunningham and Louisville trying to get it sorted out here. Here's Jerry Magalanis.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, number 22, kicking team. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
So that will push it to about the 38. And that's Connor the guilty party.
On that last touchdown run by Hendon Hooker, he does the Superman impression going into the end zone. The touchdown celebration that Cam Newton usually does. This is a quarterback in Hendon Hooker that has been mentored by a former quarterback that I used to step to, Tyrod Taylor, an excellent ambassador for this University of Virginia Tech, playing in the league now for the Chargers.
Yep. Cunningham cuts it loose on first down, incomplete, trying to get it to Fitzpatrick. With Hassan Hall injured, Louisville has been using Maurice Berkeley a lot here in his stead. And the senior at 210 pounds has come in the backfield now on this possession for Louisville.
And I like that Louisville goes with the downfield pass play on first down to try and create some sort of spark. If they're not able to get anything going in the run game, then this offense is not going to be effective.
Yeah, and you see Berkeley for the first time. He'll get the carry here to the right and pick up about 3 or 4 on the play. Maurice Berkeley is 6 foot, 210-pound, 5th-year senior. That's his 9th carry of the season. He had 7 for 63 here last week against Florida State in his most extensive action.
He's a good running back. In a different build than both Hall and Hawkins. You're going to get a little bit thicker back, a little bit more power there, bringing 210 pounds to the table.
They empty it out with 3rd and 6 here, staring the cards. Hokies bringing the pressure. Cunningham flees the pocket and finds Atwell. First down, pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Virginia Tech. Devin Taylor, who had the interception earlier in the half, was able to get to Atwell.
The Tutu Atwell just keeps working for his quarterback. See him stop, but he notices that that Cunningham is rolling, so he continues his route across the field. He's able to find some space for a nice conversion.
Yep. Probably a pretty important 3rd down play for Louisville given the circumstances here with 8 minutes to go first half.
Every 3rd down has become important when you're down 21-0.
Sure. Cunningham again. This is Atwell on the backside. There's a flag thrown. Only a yard on the play. And I'll tell you what, penalties are starting to become an issue now for the home team as well. And it's a hold on the cards.
Holding, offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Renato Brown, the right tackle. Redshirt freshman from West Palm Beach. See Robbie Bell, 75, who's got 30 career starts in his pocket. Also in that front. Bell, he's with Cole Bentley, who's from the big town of Lenora, West Virginia, population 1,391. Cunningham shoots it down the field and almost intercepted. Armani Chapman had a shot at that one. There's a flag on the play, too. There'll be a hold on the Hokies.
Holding defense, number 27. It's a 10-yard penalty, results in an automatic first down.
A lot of penalties today, but this is a pass that's just a little off the mark. It goes right through the hands. That's probably why he's playing the defense side of football. Right?
Wow.
That's always an easy shot for the DBs. I mean, come on, it's a low-hanging fruit.
And it was 7.5. Right up on it here. 1st and 10 after the penalty at the 40. Berkeley, right side, and he will pick up 5 on the play.
You have to like on this drive is they've had some success with that outside zone play. Berkeley's found some room as they've been able to knife forward for some nice gains. Now, Louisville's going to have to hit some big plays eventually, but now's not the time to panic and press. You can still go to that outside zone as long as you're picking up positive yardage like they have been on this drive.
Here's Cunningham. Looks near side. This is Fitzpatrick. Inside the 20 and down to about the 13 goes Des Fitzpatrick. Chapman, another stop for Virginia Tech in the secondary.
Des Fitzpatrick, the experienced receiver on this crew, does a fantastic job of coming back to the football, which allows him to avoid the tackle of Shamari Connor as well. Makes some moves down the field, and Louisville's really got it going now. But the textbook job there was coming back to the football.
Here's Cunningham. Now for the end zone. Caught. Did he hold all the way through? He did. It's a touchdown for Marshawn Ford.
Signs of life from this Louisville offense. Marshawn Ford lined up in the backfield. You get a post from the receiver. Marshawn Ford goes right up the seam and is wide open for the delivery. A nice response from this Louisville offense, chipping away at that lead.
6 plays, 62 yards in 3:09. And Turner adds the point after. Cards are on the board. Cunningham throws his 13th touchdown pass of the year. Ford catches his 5th. I wear it every day. Great to be with Eric Wood, Roddy Jones. Home game for E-Wood today.
Quick commute for me.
Yeah, I was about to say, look forward to the expense report, right, Roddy?
Yeah, I'm just surprised he can get any work done down here. Coming here with E-Wood, it's like walking with a superstar. It is walking with a superstar.
I know the election's Tuesday. Eric Wood's already been voted into office based on the way we walked in here. Holy smokes. Pretty important score for the Cards to draw to within 2, and a short kick here fielded by Virginia Tech and Keyshawn King. And that ball got rattled around down there, and a big lick along the way. And that's where the Hokies will get started. So now the task falls back to Louisville's defense.
It certainly does. They are going to have to come up with stops at some point, but your offense has momentum. And how big would this be psychologically for them to be able to come out and get a stop? This is a huge drive for this defense. Nothing else, just for some momentum.
Raheem Blackshear, the running back here with Hendon Hooker, who has been outstanding. 6 for 6, 93 yards, and 3 rushing scores on 7 carries so far. And this is the Rutgers transfer. Blackshear to the edge and dropped his pads in the secondary on Chandler Jones and gets nearly 8 on first down.
Raheem Blackshear running with physicality down the field. 194 pounds, it doesn't matter. I mean, you bring it, you bring it.
So 2nd and short here. And this will be Hooker keeping it, and C.J. Avery was in there along with Rajay Burns. Good to see Burns back in after being shaken up, and they get the stop on Hooker, so now 3rd and short.
Hooker's taking some big hits today.
He is a big guy, by the way.
He is.
His dad, by the way, it's a football family. His younger brother, Austin, is at North Carolina A&T as a quarterback. His dad, Allen, is one of the all-time great A&T Aggie greats in football. Here is Hooker thinking about the throw and took a massive shot from C.J. Avery. Holy smokes, Roddy.
It's another play action. Hendon Hooker's going to fake like he's going to run it. And as he climbs the pocket, he's lucky to hold on to that ball, Wes. I mean, C.J. Avery sees it, comes right through, and puts hurting on Hendon Hooker.
So it is 3 and out for Virginia Tech. And the fair catch of the punt by Burns inside the 20. So you got the stop you were looking for. If you're Louisville, big hit by C.J. Avery stops the Hokie momentum. What can Louisville do? Back after this. 21-7. Louisville gets it back. Take me through this, Eric.
Yeah, it's an unbalanced line, so the tight end is not eligible. So C.J. Avery, number 9 for the Cardinals, does not have any responsibility. He adds himself to the blitz and completely lights up Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, and Malik Cunningham, who was 4 of 5 on that touchdown drive a moment ago, starts this possession with an incomplete pass.
Seems like Louisville, on the last drive and starting out here, has kind of started to work backwards. So on some first downs, you sprinkle in some passes when Virginia Tech expects you to run. But Justin Hamilton's done a nice job just going zone early in these, so that some of the crossing routes that Louisville is trying to run aren't necessarily as effective.
Hawkins back in the ball game. Look, here's Atwell on the sweep. This is one of Roddy's food for thoughts, is get him the ball any way you can. And they're having I tell you, the east-west pursuit of Virginia Tech's been impressive in the first half.
It certainly has. Chamari Connor on that one, fighting off the block, holding leverage, and getting out wide.
You're going to see Sam Howell and Brennan Armstrong tonight in prime time from Scott Stadium. Weird stuff's happened when Carolina and Virginia play in Charlottesville now.
I can personally attest to the fact that weird stuff happens in Scott Stadium.
Yes,
for opposing teams.
Yes, you can.
Visiting teams do not have a good trip often to Scott Stadium.
Yep. 3rd and long now after the sweep only got him a couple. Little option play here. Here's the cutback, and Hawkins fighting through for the first time today out to the 40-yard line. Nice run by Javian Hawkins. Okay, Roddy, you're the option guy. Help me out here.
Well, I don't typically love when you run the speed option to the sideline, but in this case, it gets Javian Hawkins one-on-one, and he just cuts back and is able to get upfield. And when you're able to when you have a playmaker like Javian Hawkins or like Tutu Atwell, and you can get them lined up, or you can get them in a situation where they're one-on-one, it is always in your favor, especially when it's against a linebacker like Alan Tisdale.
Now you know what it was like, Eric, when 2-0 came running to rock right at you. Hawkins got 20 there. Cunningham into the boundary. Fitzpatrick juggled it, and it is intercepted. Divine Diablo comes away with the carry. It looked like a game of hot potato had ensued right in front of the Louisville bench.
This is just Des Fitzpatrick taking his eye off the ball, not securing it as it comes to him. Hits off a couple of people, and Amari Barno had a shot at it, but Divine Diablo comes up with it, and it feels like everything from a turnover perspective has gone against Louisville. Virginia Tech's had the ball on the ground twice, has recovered both of them, and now on an interesting carom, Virginia Tech gets a second interception.
Second interception of the year for Diablo. And Louisville bites down on first down. And Khalil Herbert has no room. Divine Diablo comes away with the pick, and the Hokies start at the Louisville 36. 2.5 to go before the break. And by the way, Virginia Tech gets the kick to start the second half.
Once again, this Louisville defense is in a situation where you almost have to have a stop here. You cannot let Virginia Tech get a score and then double up.
And playing undermanned here in this first half, guys. Here's Herbert trying to get to the corner, and the Cards sew up the edge there. First guy was Rajay Burns, and a bunch of black shirts behind him. And by that we mean unavailable today: Diaby, Peterson, Kennard, Clark, Bland, Boykin, Montgomery, Hayes, Marvin Dallas with an injury. Just a very, very difficult spot for Brian Brown, the defensive coordinator, and Mark Ivey, the defensive line coach.
And it seems like they found their footing just a little bit of confidence here as we've crept deeper into the second quarter.
3rd and 11. Here is Hooker looking to throw. Shoots it down the field and caught. What a huge catch by Robinson.
Holding offense.
In traffic, it's going to come back because of a hold, but look at this throw and catch. The delivery down the field. Look at Chandler Jones, the corner, had a shot at it, but Virginia Tech commits the holding and Louisville's bailed out.
That holding there forced by number 41, Raymond Puryear. This is a walk-on from Louisville, Kentucky, who does not get a lot of playing time, but because of the COVID situation, he finds himself playing here today and made a great move to draw the hold on an excellent right tackle at number 69, Luke Tenuta.
All right. So now 3rd and really long, 21 for the Hokies. Here's Herbert sweeping to the wide side, and he's going to run into Dorian Etheridge and others. Tackle back near midfield. Don't forget, coming up at the break, Jordan Cornette and the fellas from the huddle will be there with the State Farm halftime report. A look back at our first half, and then full details of #1 Clemson being taken to the brink by Boston College most of the afternoon today at Frank Howard Field.
Louisville, their first time out of the half.
This is a 30 coming up on the State Farm halftime report. And you hear Louisville stop the clock with 50 seconds left because, again, Virginia Tech gets the ball to start the half, and they've got a 2-touchdown lead. Roddy, a moment ago we mentioned, and Eric, this breaking news we were given, guys unavailable for today. Boykin, Kennard, Peterson, Diaby just ravages the defensive end spot especially.
Yeah, it's forcing guys like Raymond Puryear, like Eric said, to play. Derek Dorsey, Desmond Tell, the true freshman, Zach Edwards. We've seen all those guys here today. Guys that coming into Saturday probably didn't expect to get a lot of playing time, but they found their footing a little bit here as we've crept further into the game. So really nice job with Brian Brown's defense.
And Monty Montgomery, Eric, who's also been a big piece of what Louisville does against mobile quarterbacks especially.
Yeah, he's been the X factor for Louisville this year against mobile quarterbacks, against Notre Dame, against Ian Book, who likes to run a lot. He had 11 tackles and 2 sacks in that game.
So the interception by Diablo goes by the board for the Hokies, and now here's Louisville with 46 seconds left. And the ball at its 15.
You have to imagine that Virginia Tech is not going to allow the speed of Tutu Atwell or Braden Smith, number 81, to get behind them. So you would anticipate a lot of zone coverage, although the way they're lined up right now, it's like they may go man and bring pressure.
Here's Cunningham trying to escape the pocket and cannot. Boy, the Hokies front has been on the number since we started today. Alan Tisdale especially.
Yeah, it was number 45, Taiwan Garba, that got into the backfield first, that forced that. Did a really nice job against Adonis Boone, big number 74. And looks like Louisville's going to slow it down and just be content to take this thing to the locker room.
Yeah, Josh Fuga also was one of the first guys in the maroon helmet there. And that ball almost got picked. Oh boy, looking for Fitzpatrick. Tisdale in the neighborhood. So was Breon Murray, who's already got 2 of them on the year.
Boy, you had you had Breon Murray coming from inside out, or excuse me, Alan Tisdale coming from inside out. If he doesn't tip that ball, that's a pick 6.
Yes, it is.
Breon Murray strolls into the end zone.
Breon Murray may have a word with Tisdale on the way to the locker room here.
Yeah, when you go back and watch film on that one, you're like, come on, man.
Here's the give, and look at Hawkins. Here's Javian Hawkins. Lots of speed. He's got one angle to beat, and he will. Touchdown. 90 yards.
Listen, on the hardwood, they call this one a buzzer beater. Maybe a full court buzzer beater. Javian Hawkins he just finds space. Virginia Tech's got everybody back to prevent it, and he goes up the sideline, gets a nice block downfield, and that was like a 94-footer.
Never have understood why they run it at the end of the half.
Incredible.
That's why you run it at the end of the half, right?
That's why you don't take a knee. Because when you have a guy like Javian Hawkins, he's always got the speed to take it to the house.
State Farm halftime report coming your way after a home run ball from Javian Hawkins. Touchdown difference in the Ville.
It's a 14, maybe 21-point swing if Virginia Tech would have been able to have the pick 6 and then double up on the other half, on the other side.
Here, and we'll check with Eric Wood as the Hokies return the kick, and Virginia Tech's going to start at its 37-yard line after Keyshawn King ran it back. He would.
Technical difficulties going on with Ewood's microphone, but we'll hear what Scott Satterfield had to say in just a second.
Khalil Herbert, 77 yards on 10 carries with Hendon Hooker, who wants to throw. Pressure coming, and he'll be sacked. Dorian Etheridge. Or no, I'm sorry, 12, Marlon Character. So Character comes blasting through.
Coming out of the secondary on the corner blitz at the bottom of your screen, Hendon Hooker feels him towards the end and never sees him. It was a slow developing route downfield. Trey Turner had a double move and was actually open, but Hooker didn't have the time to find him.
Wow, good start to the half for the Ville, right?
Yeah.
Low snap, Hooker scoops and throws. There's Mitchell, the big tight end, across the midfield line to the 46 of Louisville. Tackle made by Forgo, the safety, on the 3rd catch for James Mitchell.
James Mitchell is lined up in the tight end position, just turned loose right up the seam. Hendon Hooker does a nice job of finding him and completely makes us forget about the first play of the half.
Yeah. Ball at the 46. And Hendon Hooker is 7 for 7. 117 yards after the 24-yard throw. And Herbert bounces off the stack. And we'll move it for about 5 yards to the 41.
Wes, you mentioned Hendon Hooker being 7 for 7. Those 7 passes have gone to 2 receivers. Yep. Trey Turner and James Mitchell are the only 2 guys he's gone to through the air. But it's mainly been the run game that's been successful for Virginia Tech so far.
4th play of the drive. And the 2nd down give, and this is Blackshear. Tried to get to the edge and did. Broke free and pushed it to the 32, and that'll be enough for a first down. The balance now, you see Khalil Herbert as Yeast made the play. You've seen Herbert and Blackshear. You see one for a couple of possessions. Then you might see one for a snap or 2, and they go back to typically Herbert, Roddy. But here today, we've seen more of a pronounced patrol of the 2, if you will.
Yeah, and Raheem Blackshear was a little banged up at times during camp, and it really hasn't been himself, but he's starting to get back to it. And there's some great running back duos in the ACC when Raheem Blackshear is healthy. He's as good as there is in terms of speed, shiftiness, and we've seen him run with a lot of power here today, too.
Yeah. Here is Hooker now. He's going to keep and step away from Avery and pick up 3, maybe 4 on the first down play to the 29-yard line. In fact, you want to see maybe the league's best duo. Stay tuned tonight in primetime for Javonte Williams and Michael Carter, right?
Country's best duo right there. I mean, those two guys are must-see TV. Not unlike the two that we're seeing with Virginia Tech.
Right.
Khalil Herbert, Raheem Blackshear. And when Hassan Hall's healthy on the other side, I mean,
yep,
that's as explosive a duo with Javian Hawkins and Hassan Hall as anybody in the country as well.
Yep. Here is Hooker on the sweep. This is Robinson looking for room. And he'll be brought down shy of the goal line at the 1. Rajay Burns saved the touchdown on Tavian Robinson's sweep.
Watch the block by Khalil Herbert, leading out front, sealing the inside, and Tavian Robinson as a seam is able to get a nice gain down inside the 5-yard line. But the job of Herbert buying into what they're doing here,
yep,
getting out front of that, throwing the big block, made that play.
28 yards, 1st and goal. Hooker's got 3 rushing scores. This is Turner sweeping and scoring. Trey Turner, the rushing touchdown. And even on 1st and goal at the 1, the Hokies give it to the receiver on the sweep.
Over the last few seasons, this has been one of the best plays for Virginia Tech, that jet sweep. The blocking's good out front. You get them on the perimeter. Only need a couple of blocks. They don't have to be held for long. Trey Turner's able to find the end zone.
So in less than 4 minutes, Virginia Tech goes 63 yards in 7 plays. And an extra point away from making it a 2-touchdown margin again. And Johnson's point is good. Well, Trey Turner still looking for his first receiving score of the year. He's got one on the ground to start half 2. Well, part of the Greensboro, North Carolina connection, Hendon Hooker and Trey Turner combine on the touchdown. Turner scoring from a yard out and pushes it back to a 2-touchdown advantage for the Hokies at 28-14. John Parker Romo going to drive it toward Braden Smith, and he will bring it out. 10, 15, and Smith got turned around at the 20-yard line by Keyshawn Artis, wearing that Frank Beamer jersey today, Eric.
It wouldn't be 2020 without some technical difficulties. We got some sound going here, and I was able to catch up with Coach Satterfield coming out of the locker room, and he was hoping that the momentum of that Javian Hawkins run would carry over to the second half. Big drive by the Hokies right there for a 7-point score, but he simply said they need to take care of the ball on offense. 2 turnovers is too many, and they were able to force 2 fumbles, unable to recover any. They need to be able to force turnovers in the second half to win this game.
And here is Cunningham, and the Cards going to work with Hawkins, who's already got his 12th 100-yard game under his belt. And Breon Murray, the stop of Javian Hawkins. Woo.
The burst of energy that he was at the end of the half. Up to that point, 10 rushes for 24 yards, and then goes for 90 on the last carry of the first half. Completely changing the momentum of this game. And honestly, that brought them within 7 points. This Louisville defense is just going to have a stop in the 3rd, a stop in the 4th, and then the offense has to carry their weight.
Cunningham trying to go to Fitzpatrick on a running catch. Shoved out of bounds at the 48.
They finally get Des Fitzpatrick one-on-one against the freshman Dorian Strong. Pressure was in Malik Cunningham's face, but delivers a nice accurate ball to Fitzpatrick. Gets his team out towards midfield.
Yep. Almost 5 gone in the 3rd here. Louisville's been playing down a serve all afternoon.
Yeah, and as long as the offense holds serve, you don't have to have the defense come through every time. You just need one here and one there.
Oh, Hawkins runs right into the teeth of Barno. Well, they were excited to see Amari Barno go to work today, the redshirt junior from Blythewood, South Carolina. And why wouldn't you? Leads them in tackles for loss with 8, sacks with 3.5. Justice Reed had an opening play sack today, but Barno was the guy that they kept talking about in terms of getting an opportunity to run today.
It's because of the length and athleticism. 6'6", 235 pounds. So what you give up in weight, you gain in speed.
Here's Cunningham, second in the full 10. And to the far sideline, edged out by Tisdale after a gain of almost 5 on the play. Second down coming up. I enjoyed our visit with Malik Cunningham this week, Roddy.
Yeah, an incredibly mature quarterback. Seems like he has a full understanding of what's going on around him. Whereas last year as a first-year starter, things were happening kind of fast.
Yep.
Faces a big third down here.
Third down for the Cards. Cunningham, as the pressure arrives, gets it to Atwell. He'll be shoved out by Diablo. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Louisville. So Divine Diablo, who had an interception in the first half, got caught one-on-one in space with Atwell and just opts to try and get hands on it.
It was a little rub route on the outside. Divine Diablo had to fight through some traffic, but it was really made. This play was made by Malik Cunningham on the rollout, pulls up because of the blitz off the edge, and then delivers an accurate pass.
Here's the give to Hawkins, and again the Hokies handle it well. Tisdale, 34, is having a field day here, Roddy. He has played that zone for the most part perfectly, it looks like.
The linebacking core has really done a fantastic job. The defensive lineman, when you have that zone, you can create penetration, but if there's not linebackers filling those gaps, playing downhill, then it creates too much space, and you give a guy like Javian Hawkins space, and he's able to take it to the house. The linebackers have done a really nice job of playing their gaps.
2nd and 11 after a loss of 1. Cunningham for Atwell. Great catch in traffic ahead of Murray. Tutu gets a little lift here now.
He does. And he's starting to come back to this ball before he leans back to grab it. But as you said, if Tutu Atwell doesn't get a hand on that, Breon Murray picks it off.
Right.
Because it's going straight to him.
1st and 10. Cunningham on the boot. Back in the middle of the pocket. Wants to bail, looking for help. Now he'll tuck and run, and Connor tried to get to him. Stepped out near the first down at the 13. Let's go back to the play before last.
Watch Tutu Atwell at the bottom of your screen. He's just going to run a deep curl route. And as he comes back to the ball, puts the brakes on and elevates. Breon Murray is right there. If the ball doesn't end up in Tutu Atwell's hands, it's going to end up in the hands of Murray. But Atwell, he's done such a good job this year of elevating his draft stock with things like that. I talked to him earlier this season, and he said he really wanted to work on his route running ability. That was a fantastic route and fantastic athleticism.
Here is Cunningham again looking to throw, and he will throw it away. All right, maybe this is a detail thing here, Rodney and Eric, but it seems Cunningham is getting more out of the boot game than maybe just the straight drop back stuff right now. Is Virginia Tech paid so much attention to the front side that the boot is there?
Yeah, with Louisville's running game, you have to respect that at all times. So the bootlegs have been great. And then when Louisville has done straight drop back, this defensive line for Virginia Tech has caused a lot of issues getting in the face of Malik Cunningham.
2nd and 10. Hawkins to about the 8. So 3rd and about 5. Connor the stop.
The last 2 third down conversions for the Cardinals, the one was the speed option in the first half, and then this last one was a designed rollout by Malik Cunningham. Louisville on 3rd down has been conscientious to not just do straight drop back and stare right into the teeth of that pass rush.
And remember, the closer you get down to the end zone, the more it becomes Marshawn Ford territory. He's lined up to the left of Malik Cunningham.
Hawkins has run his way into the top 10 now on Louisville's all-time rushing list. 2,346 yards, guys. And now we're going to get a flag, and I think delay. Oh, timeout beforehand. So the 23rd head coach at the University of Louisville, Scott Satterfield, wants to talk about.
Certainly a bummer for Clemson. You would have liked to be able to have him back, but honestly, Wes, Clemson's playing with house money in that game. Even a loss, the committee would consider the fact that Trevor Lawrence didn't play.
Out of the Louisville timeout, little reverse. They're going to throw it back, and Cunningham wasn't looking for the throw from Braden Smith. So Louisville went a little Philly special here.
Well, every team in the country's got it in their playbook now. But watch how fast Braden Smith put under pressure by Justice Reed. Malik Cunningham had no shot. And honestly, it's probably best that that happened because Divine Diablo may have had a shot at either the ball or the quarterback with the ball in the air.
Right. And now Louisville's going to go for this on 4th and 5. The ball at the 8-yard line. Snap to Cunningham. To his right. Could run for it. Now throws, and it's intercepted. Armani Chapman has come away with the interception. Or no, Shamari Connor. Shamari Connor has come away with the pick. With 5:25 to go, the Malik Cunningham, and this one to Shamari Connor. First time since Pittsburgh, Cunningham has thrown 3 picks. So here are Hooker and the Hokies with 5:25 to go in the third and a 2-score lead, and Khalil Herbert to work. And he's going to pick up about, let's see, 8 on the play. 2nd and 2 coming up after the tackle by Avery.
This is a drive right here where I feel like you could really lean on this dominant offensive line. You got 5 minutes left in the third quarter, starting this drive inside your own 5-yard line. Try and work the ball down the field with your run game and rely on this offensive line.
That's Turner in motion. He and Mitchell have been the principal receivers today for Hooker. And here goes Herbert into the Louisville secondary, and he'll get a first down at the 16, guys.
Well, Wes.
Yeah.
You know you can get the latest news and information from the ACC each morning with special guests from the world of sports. Judging by the reception, it's in the running for the most popular show in Louisville. It's Packer and Durham, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on ACCN and the ESPN app.
I want to thank all the good folks here in Louisville who have come up and said how much they enjoy Mark Packer.
Believe me, it has been a substantial number of people.
It wasn't the Bills fan at breakfast, though, in Eric Woodstown.
That's true.
Here is Herbert around the edge and past the 20. You know, I thought when we were in Central New York last year together that we had run into all the Bills fans. Hadn't you?
Well, I knew there was going to be a substantial contingent of Eric Wood fans here in Louisville. You knew that was.
But did you expect a guy at breakfast wearing Bills gear?
He scouted out he would be in there too. That was the impressive.
What's that like for you here, being a mayor of 2 cities?
Mayor of 2 cities, come on now. The only 2 cities that I'm a celebrity in, but it's all the Bills fans. They are not only in Central New York and Western New York West. They are global.
Yes, they are. Yep. We'll get Atlanta. Roddy Jones will show you off a little bit too now.
Let's just say I'm not even the most popular Roddy in my city. May not even be top 2.
3rd and 2 now.
This third down, I think, is one that goes back to what Eric was talking about. You lean on that offensive line. They've had a lot of success in short yardage with quarterback runs, too, with Hendon Hooker.
Khalil Herbert already on his 5th 100-yard game of the year. And here goes Hooker looking to throw. Back here to the near side, they find the tight end. This is Nick Gallo for the first down. So big Nick Gallo, who had 3 catches for 21 yards last week, gets in the scorebook, converting a 3rd and short.
I've seen this a number of times, faking that quarterback sweep. This time, Nick Gallo just sneaks back across the formation and is wide open. Really nice call by Brad Cornelson to get the first down.
2.5 to play in the 3rd. Hooker loads again, and Robinson the catch and took a big shot from character.
It's RPO. Just sneaks behind the linebackers. It's a big hit. It's a nice job for Robinson holding on to the football.
And earlier in the game, we were talking about the difference between these two offenses being the offside by the back for Virginia Tech and the pistol for Louisville. Because of the offset, Virginia Tech able to do the RPO game, Louisville not.
And Blackshear on first down with the run. And he picks up about 6. All right, we spent some time this week talking about the differences here. You see the pistol look, that's the base package, right? The base look of the quarterback and the running back for Scott Satterfield. And the offset is what Justin Fuente and Brad Cornelson look at, right?
Yeah, and the advantage of the offset, what you see here, the running back next to the quarterback, is he's got his eyes down the field when he's riding that read.
And there goes Hooker for the first down. Inside the 40 toward the 38 of Louisville. And Hendon Hooker, who's got 3 rushing scores today already.
And watch Hendon Hooker. His eyes are down the field as he's riding the running back. He's able to get out with that quarterback run. When you have the pistol look, Louisville likes to go with the boot off of it, and it helps the running back because he's able to get downhill better and faster with his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Blackshear, and boy, runs into C.J. Avery and also Rajay Burns. Now, Eric, we were talking with Louisville. They want to get Hawkins, Hassan Hall, Berkeley, whoever it is. They want to get them on a track, right, when they run it from the pistol.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear Scott Satterfield talk about that as a former quarterback. He understands so well the running back's track. And when football was traditionally played under center, the running back was in the dot behind the quarterback, and he could get downhill. Well, now that it's primarily played in the shotgun, the pistol allows him to keep the same track that he always had.
Justin Fuente had both running backs on the field in Blackshear and Herbert, and Hooker keeps it for the first down inside the 20 to the 19.
Well, created all kinds of confusion in the secondary, and Hendon Hooker just takes it right up the middle. You see the block by Lasita Smith. This offensive line, I don't think it can be overstated how much they've improved since the beginning of last season, when they were a young group, shuffling guys in and out. Brock Hoffman comes in this season. The emergence of Christian Darrisaw, Luke Tenuta, Lasita Smith, Doug Nestor. These guys have really gelled and done a fantastic job this year.
3 quarters in the books at Cardinal Stadium in the ball game. Hendon Hooker's got 3 rushing scores. The Hawkins home run of 90 yards on the final play of the first half got the Cards to within a score. But Virginia Tech has not let them draw any closer.
No, they have not. This has been the performance that Justin Fuente is really looking for after losing last week.
Yep. And we go to the 4th with a 2-touchdown lead, and the Hokies in the red zone against the ACC's second-best red zone defense. And Raheem Blackshear trying to get cranked up. Spun away from one, but couldn't get away from the Atlanta senior Marlon character.
Marlon Carrick did not chase that down from the backside. Raheem Blackshear had some room.
Yep.
Hendon Hooker was out front throwing blocks for him, so it's a really nice job. The corner character coming across the field in the backfield to bring him down.
Yep. So Herbert has come back in. He's got 101 yards on 14 carries. Here is carry number 15 for Khalil. And he'll get 2 out of it to the 16, 3rd down coming up.
You know, Eric talked about it when Virginia Tech got the ball. This was the drive to milk the clock, run behind that big offensive line. They took 5 minutes off the clock in that 3rd quarter. Basically, they've shortened the game. Louisville can't count on having more than 2 possessions left in the game. So this stop becomes massive. And honestly, they're going to need a stop and then some help with either a missed field goal or a turnover. But this is a huge stop just because of the way Virginia Tech's been able to run the ball. You can't count on a lot of possessions.
3rd and 7. That's Herbert out of the backfield. And here is Hooker. And he will be pulled down. Looked like Burns was the first guy there, and then Chandler Jones. And the Hokies will come out to try the field goal with Brian Johnson. 10 of 13 on the year. He hit a 54-yarder last week in Winston-Salem, his season best, 55 in Chapel Hill. And this will be a 30-yarder. And Johnson squeezes it in the right upright. New score at Louisville.
Lucky here. Des Fitzpatrick juggles it. Javian Hawkins comes up with the interception. And then this one on a 4th down where he's rolling out, hits towards the sideline, and kind of throws up a desperation one that ends up as a pick as well. That one's excusable. So of the 3 interceptions, only one of them really on Malik Cunningham.
17-point game, and here is Braden Smith. And boy, Divine Diablo shoved him out of bounds.
Yeah, so let's see the end of that play. Look, he's just going out of bounds. It's a 4th down. He just throws it up, and it ends up in Jamari Connor's arms. That's sort of a desperation play on a 4th down. You don't want to run out of bounds. You don't want to throw it away. You just try and let your guy make a play, and it ends up in the other guy's hands. That one's one that Scott Satterfield will forgive.
Yep. With Roddy Jones, Eric Wood, Wes Durham, Aaron Owens, our producer, Adam Bryant, our director. Great to have our ACC Network crew here in Louisville. Cunningham to work from the pocket back to the line of scrimmage. Hokies got there with Jalen Griffin. And Eric and Roddy, Louisville's got to take advantage because not only are they down 17, the clock might be working against them here too.
Yeah, on the last drive, Virginia Tech able to drain over 7 minutes off the clock. We talked about it at the start of that drive. Lean on that offensive line. That's exactly what they did. Only 2 designed pass plays on the drive.
Yep. And here is Hawkins, who's got a 100-yard day and not much, if any, there. So all of a sudden, it's 3rd and the full 10 for Satterfield's team on the Rayshard Ashby tackle.
And I'm a little surprised there isn't a little bit more urgency with this Louisville offense. You start to do the math, and you're down 17, so you need three possessions to get back in the game.
Yep.
You take the amount of time that Virginia Tech's going to take off the clock, and it starts to get really tight when you're looking at getting those through.
This is 3rd and the full 10. Cunningham gonna throw it deep for Fitzpatrick in stride at the 30. Des Fitzpatrick runs out of the angle for the touchdown. Another big long ball for Louisville. And went right over the top of Breon Murray for the catch.
Oh, you know how you increase the number of possessions you're going to get in limited time? You have big plays like this one. Des Fitzpatrick's to the bottom of your screen and just beats Murray off the line of scrimmage. He gets one-on-one. It's an easy pitch and catch, and Javian Hawkins is chasing from the backside, but nobody's going to catch up to Fitzpatrick. Ends up being a touchdown.
82 yards. How about that? Boy, if the Cards hit some home runs today, Roddy. In under 90 seconds. We're talking about the clock working against them. Tenuta, the big sophomore right tackle, who is part of a Tenuta football family tradition. You see, Luke's dad is John Tenuta, who for many years was the defensive coordinator in the ACC, Georgia Tech. He worked at North Carolina, NC State, briefly at Notre Dame, and then most recently in this league at Virginia, where he had a chance to work with his son Zach, who was a graduate assistant. Well, a couple of years ago, John Tenuta was diagnosed with oral cancer, and he beat it once. But his family let us know this week that the cancer has come back. But even as a defensive senior analyst with Luke Fickell at Cincinnati, the old coach has been battling this year. Not only are the Bearcats having a great year, John's been able to be at all the games, be at all the practices, Roddy. I know you played for him when you were at Georgia Tech. I've known him for years. He's one of the great grinders. He's one of the great imaginations when it comes to the defensive side of the ball.
Virginia Tech.
I mean, and our thoughts and prayers are with John, but thanks to his son Matt, who is a baseball pitcher in Australia, Zach, who we showed you as a quarterback or a defensive coordinator at Norfolk State. Luke plays here, his wife Dory, just great people, and they were nice enough to let us tell you the story of Coach Tenuta.
Well, Coach John Tenuta, one of the most revered defensive minds in the country, and our thoughts and prayers, as you said, go out to him. He was a defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech when I was a freshman, so I spent a lot of time with him. I was redshirted, so I was on scout team, and he's one of the all-time greats. His players would run through a wall for him, so we certainly send our thoughts and prayers to him and his battle, and his son's been playing really well throughout all that adversity.
I'll tell you, the funny part of this, Eric, was when Justin Fuente told us that Tenuta was working at Oklahoma when he was the scout team quarterback, and Roddy started having flashbacks, and so did Justin Tenuta of working with John Tenuta.
Yeah, Roddy said that they would run through a wall for Coach Tenuta. It sounds like they ran through a scout team running back, too, on their way.
The Louisville's lined up in the onside kick formation, maybe trying to steal one of those possessions that we were talking about.
All right, let's see what happens here. The Cards are using Ryan Chalfo to kick it off, and that's Mitchell who recovers it at the 31. Don't forget, coming up, Roddy, 11 o'clock tonight, the Huddle After Dark. No tie required. Jordan Cornette, Mark Rick, E.J. Manuel, Eric McLean. Highlights of all the ball games today. Analysis from the coach, the QB, and the offensive lineman.
A Halloween Huddle After Dark.
Oh, no, really? Are you serious?
That's going to be must-see TV.
Ball at the 31, and Hooker trying to dial deep, and Robinson, a great catch. Javian Robinson, another sensational grab. Hendon Hooker stays perfect.
We've seen Trey Turner come up with plays, and now it's Javian Robinson. You get a double post from the two receivers. The inside post takes the safety away. Robinson ends up one-on-one with Chandler Jones and is able to create the separation that they weren't able to find last week.
42-yard throw. Hendon Hooker has been sensational today. 3 rushing scores, and here's Khalil Herbert, who's also got 100 yards rushing as well. Rajay Burns the stop on Herbert.
Hendon Hooker has quite literally been perfect when he's put the ball in the air. 10 for 10, 183 yards, and has hit some big plays down the field as well. Now it's a lot easier when you have the run game going like it has been today, but he has been incredibly accurate, and in talking to him, he was incredibly confident after last week that his team was going to be able to respond.
And you're talking about a defense, a pass defense in Louisville that ranks 3rd in the ACC, but 2nd in the country in pass breakups, unable to get any so far today.
Yeah, they had 12 last week against Florida State, and here's Hooker keeping it on the ground. Chandler Jones finally wrapped him up the corner on that boundary side. Point game with just better than 10 to go.
Giving up a field goal here is not going to kill you. It's a 3-score game either way. The thing that you can't have is, excuse me, it's a 2-score game either way. The thing that you can't have is a touchdown, which makes it a 3-score game.
Right. Here's Hooker, and runs right into Avery. C.J. Avery had a dozen tackles last week. Feels like he's had about that many today. Now 4th down, and Johnson back out. The Hokies are just 1 of 7 on 3rd down. The throw to Gallo is their only 3rd down conversion of the day.
It's incredible. The 3rd down efficiency just has not been there. Creates a 41-yard field goal attempt for Brian Johnson.
Yep. Try is away, and perfect. So 9:14 to go. 13-point difference.
DTN, congratulations to him.
Yeah, he became the ACC's all-time leading rusher earlier today in the win over Boston College. And don't forget the number 15 Tar Heels and the Cavaliers of Virginia under the lights at Scott Stadium tonight with Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, Katie George. Waiting at 8 o'clock here on ACC Network and always streaming on the ESPN app. Ball at the 25 here for Louisville. Maurice Burton has come into the backfield here now with Cunningham. Thirteen-point game. Cunningham looking on the deep throw. What a catch by Atwell. Oh!
You know, when you look at the next level and you see guys like Tyreek Hill and even T.Y. Hilton to some extent, the stigma with receivers that are a little bit more slight has kind of gone away, especially when they make catches like that. Be able to get 2 feet in bounds Obviously, you know about the speed, but you see the hands there as well.
15-yard throw to Atwell from the 40. Hokies trying to get the extra guy through. Cunningham cuts it loose, and catch made on the backside. And going to work is Justin Marshall, the junior from east of Atlanta at Conyers, Georgia, near midfield on a first down.
I'll tell you what, Wes, he had Tutu Atwell again. He had a deep over route that was honestly open. Watch Tutu Atwell in the slot.
Oh, my.
And he's wide open there. He's got his hand up like, hit me, and that's a touchdown if he finds Atwell on that one.
Here's Cunningham keeping it. Flags are down. And he will step out of bounds at the 48. Malik didn't seem to want to invite contact from Connor there.
Illegal formation.
And that's
offense.
why.
5 players were in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Speaking of the...
You see, he said 5 in the backfield. It looks like the 2 guys down at the bottom are on the line.
Right.
So, I mean, certainly the referees have a better look at it than I do, but I can't pick out. I guess they're considering the 2 receivers to the bottom as off the ball. But you see in the slot, he's motioning off. I don't know about that one.
And the ball got moved by Bentley, the center there. Is this another one on the Ville?
False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Cole Bentley, we had some fun with Dwayne Ledford talking about Cole Bentley's hometown of Lenore, West Virginia, down in Williamson County of 1,391 people. And I asked Ledford, is Lenore bigger than your hometown, Black Mountain? And Dwayne said, we got them beat by a couple hundred. There's the throw by Cunningham. He was forced out of bounds. Tisdale's been everywhere today out of the linebacking spot. So now all of a sudden the penalties have kind of taken this drive off the tracks.
The penalties have not been great for Louisville all day. They've only had 5 for 40 yards, but it seemed like they've all just been killers.
Absolutely.
Holding calls on long pass plays or long run plays.
Blitz coming for Cunningham and thrown away. Hawkins had flared to the flat, but Virginia Tech had everybody busting through. Jalen Griffin led the charge.
This is a situation where it's obviously 4-down territory, but just watch the floodgates open. It's a screen that they're trying to set up. With Virginia Tech's all over it on the perimeter. You're inviting pressure from the inside. But on this 3rd down, you're just trying to cut it in half. Get to a 4th and less than 10 so you can make it manageable, because you got to go for it.
And here is the 3rd down throw, and the catch is made. Fitzpatrick, who had the long touchdown and went to the ground. The ball popped loose, but I think he's been ruled down at the 42. And it's now 4th and 3, Roddy.
Yeah, there's not even a choice here. The question is, what personnel group do they go with, and what's the play call?
Right.
This may be that double slice play that Eric was talking about earlier in the game, the go-to. We haven't seen it a ton in this game, but if you're going to go to one of your tried and true plays, now's the time to do it.
4th down. Cunningham right up the middle. 1st down and more. Malik inside the 20. Diablo the tackle at the 16.
Louisville has done such a nice job so far today in these situations. Malik Cunningham just on the draw, and Virginia Tech has not let him get loose in the run game so far, but that was the perfect play call at the perfect time. Nice job by Scott Satterfield being a step ahead.
6.5 and change left. You see the difference in the ball game. They flip it to Atwell, sweeping right. And he'll pick up 3, maybe 4 on the play, and they'll spot it around the 13-yard line.
Malik Cunningham doing a bunch of running around on this drive. Had to come to the sideline there and get some water after that play from head trainer Matt Summers.
too, man. Run around a lot. I mean, this has been a long drive, and that was was a big run on that fourth down.
Now they plug Berkeley back in there again. That's Atwell in motion. They're going to hand it to Berkeley. Made the first guy miss, and Maurice Berkeley the touchdown. First rushing score for Berkeley. Flag on the play.
There's no foul on the play. It was inadvertently dropped by accident. Touchdown.
13-yard run for Berkeley now with 5:36 to go.
I wasn't sure that it wasn't some ankles that Maurice Berkeley took on that little shake and bake move that fell on the field. Maybe he shook the referee as well, and that's why the flag fell out. But really nice job by Louisville of responding on that drive. Had some tough plays that they had to convert. Were able to do it. And this is a ball game, though.
Yep. The point after for Turner. Fumbled the snap. And it will stay a 7-point game with 5:36 to go.
There's a flag on the field, Wes. I think you may get an offside. The Louisville's going to get bailed out.
Brock Travelstad, the holder, couldn't field it cleanly.
There's a flag on the play.
Jerry Magallanes, the referee.
Offside defense in the neutral zone at the snap. At the distance to the goal remains a try down.
How about Roddy? How about Roddy picking that right up, Eric?
Oh no, that was our spotter, Eric Fiddleman. With that one was dropped on the near side, as you see the fumbled snap there, and again bailed out by Virginia Tech jumping off sides.
Yeah, Breon Murray was almost standing right beside him when he got the ball fielded. Another try. This one cleaner and through. 6-point game, 5.5 to go. The Cards try to onside it.
23 yards, but remember, he had a 90-yard run, so if my math's correct, that means he's got 33 yards other than that.
That's it. And so here's the scenario. Ryan Chalfant. He's going to kick it to the near side. It took the bounce, and Mitchell made another great play. And it looks like that Louisville had Henry Bryant run right by, or was that C.J. Avery run right by?
Watch this. Louisville's got a shot at it. It dribbles there. And just that bounces up at the last minute. Up over the head of the Louisville player.
Was that Avery?
It was Avery, and Virginia Tech, always known for their special team prowess, the beamer ball over the years, as Hendon Hooker takes off down the sideline.
But a flag, Eric, too. Go ahead. Flag thrown on the play.
Holding offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So there you have it. Flag down off the first down play from the 48.
But interesting formation on the kick return, the onside kick formation by Virginia Tech. They had defensive linemen all across the front to get in the way and block, but that limits the amount of people that are able to catch that football on the onside kick.
And you saw Tenuta there on the left side of the screen with the hold. Puts him behind the sticks on a first down.
I remember Louisville, what, 2 timeouts here left, right?
Yeah,
5:18 to play. 1st and 20 for Hooker. The play fake to Blackshear. Hooker wants to throw, escapes the pocket, and finally brought down by Dorian Etheridge after he picked up about 16, maybe 17 yards on the play of the 41. Virginia Tech's got a player down. Is that Khalil Herbert? No, it's Trey Turner. It's hard to tell from the jersey. It is Turner, the wide receiver. Just saw the 1 briefly on the jersey.
got rolled up by Hendon Hooker on that one as he got tackled. It was a really nice job by Hooker of scrambling to make it a second and manageable. I mean, they were way behind the chains before. Now they can go back to the run game behind that offensive line and grind it out.
2nd and 3. And Khalil Herbert just smashes straight ahead, but right into the arms of big Jared Goldwire. And a flag down on the play. And is this going to be against Louisville?
It looks like it was late contact, a personal foul after the play going against the Cardinals. That's based upon the reaction of the Virginia Tech players.
All right.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 11. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Nick Okeke. And
see 11 there, right in the middle.
He got caught up with Doug Nestor, or no, Brock Hoffman.
That is that's a really solid job of acting.
That is an all-world flop by my man Brock Hoffman, whose game I absolutely love. And that's what Brock Hoffman does. He finishes every single play to the whistle, and eventually as a defensive player, that gets under your skin, and that's a costly error by the Cardinals there.
And I know that the referees have to manage the game. In this situation, you know the situation that Louisville's under. You see Brock Hoffman and Okeke going at it.
Right.
I would like to see the flag left in the pocket. That was not an egregious push.
Right.
It was a little late, but let it go. Let these guys play. Instead, you throw the flag, and Virginia Tech's now in field goal range.
So under 4 to go. 2nd and the full 10 here. You get the impression the way the Hokies are burning the play clock. Scott Satterfield may have to think about using the one of the two here in a moment, but not before Herbert goes to the house. Khalil Herbert, his 6th rushing score of the year with 3:23 to play.
And the penalty looms large. I mean, that was going to be a 3rd down. And instead, the flag comes out. You get a 1st down. A little counter play. Khalil Herbert slips inside of a tackle and splits the 2 defenders down the field, and it's a touchdown. Virginia Tech ices this thing.
5 plays, 48 yards, and 213. And Khalil Herbert's been as good as advertised today, Rodney.
He certainly has been. And this offensive line, to be honest with you, has been as good as advertised.
Hooker and the 2-point throw. And he stays perfect. Trey Turner hauled it in against character.
That's a big boy fade ball by Trey Turner. It's a big boy fade ball catch.
Well, the Hokies have been impressive with their quarterback, but once again, they have done plenty of work on the ground.
They have. Khalil Herbert, 133 yards. Hendon Hooker has had a couple of nice runs, including the one on 1st and 20 at the beginning of the last drive, where he was able to cut it to 2nd and short. Then Trey Turner's pitched in a little bit with a touchdown. You know, a little jet sweep action down near the goal line. Receivers love to get in on that action.
Yeah, no question. And Hendon Hooker is 10 for 10 for 183. An Eric Wood quarterback rating of 253.7. Big fella.
He's been impressive. My man Tyrod Taylor, who's been mentoring, he loves this kid. And when I talked to Tyrod, he said, man, there's not a whole lot I need to talk to him about on field. I'm working with him on mindset, daily routines, and just pouring into him. And what a game Hendon Hooker's had. And we mentioned early in the game, a lot of their pass plays can convert to quarterback draws. And so that allows him to stay perfect throughout a game, because when the pass play isn't there, he doesn't need to force it. He's got a lead blocker with Herbert leading up through the hole.
Well, and the Herbert touchdown, by the way, just the latest big play for Virginia Tech today, over 20 yards. Braden Smith out to the 24 with 3:18 to go. The Hokies have 8 big plays today. Over 20 yards, Roddy.
Yeah, it's been an explosion from this Virginia Tech team. And honestly, this is the Virginia Tech team. The performance that we've seen on offense from the run game, the efficiency down the field. This is the Virginia Tech offense that we really expected. And Virginia Tech has obviously been through a lot of adversity, especially on the defensive side of the football. But when they are healthy, they are one of the best teams in this league.
Yep. You see Keontae Jenkins making it off the field under his own power. Louisville has, Virginia Tech has scored on every possession here in the second half. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and now the Ville from its 24 and thrown just beyond the reach of Hawkins. Well, gentlemen, Hokies will step out of the league next week for Liberty, and then the gauntlet behind it. Miami at home, at Pittsburgh, and Clemson and Virginia to finish in the regular season. Roddy?
It's one of the toughest stretches in the second half of anybody in the league.
Javian Hawkins brought down at the 31. Third down coming up. Cards, by the way, go to Charlottesville next week. Have Syracuse at Boston College. They'll have a bye after Virginia, I should note. A Friday night against Syracuse at BC, and then Wake Forest on the 5th to finish.
You mentioned the Virginia Tech schedule in conference, but that Liberty game is no walk in the park. Liberty's undefeated.
Yeah. Hawkins knocked out of bounds, but it'll be a first down. 2:40 to go. And don't forget tomorrow's Sunday Best. Field hockey starts at noon, and then 3 women's soccer matches. Boy, this league is so good in soccer, both men and women. You'll get a look at number 5 Duke against Miami, and then number 1 North Carolina on the tail end with Notre Dame. All tomorrow here on ACC Network with the Sunday Best that starts at noon.
Wes, you mentioned the Louisville schedule, and obviously this was not the best performance with the depletions on the defensive side of the football. This offense was going to have to hold serve more often than not, and just wasn't able to get going quickly enough in this game unless some crazy stuff happens to be able to pull it out.
Look at Cunningham avoid the rush, and now run for the first down and more. Pulled down by Connor at the 33.
Still got life.
Ran right through DeBoe's tackle.
How about the escape artist, the magic act in the backfield?
Yep. Here's Hawkins trying to help his quarterback. Picks up about 6 on first down as we work toward 1:45 to play. Now Cunningham to throw on the second down play. If he can. Gets away from the pressure and got it to Hawkins. Is it complete? Yes, at the 20. Javian had to take it off his shoe tops, it looked like, right there at the Cardinal bench.
It's a nice catch by the running back. Showing the hands. Louisville with a little bit of life. Des Fitzpatrick's been a little quiet here on this drive.
And the throw, the quick one to Atwell, who got knocked out of bounds. Connor right there. Cunningham up over 300 yards. 334, Roddy, on 22 of 32.
The 3
Pretty good
interceptions, yeah, the 3 interceptions are going to stand out. But as we talked about earlier in the half, 2 of those, one is a desperation 4th down, and one of those off the hands of his receiver on a tunnel screen.
Here's the throw to the end zone. Fitzpatrick couldn't haul it in. He had Breon Murray in his pocket. Don't forget, before we send you to Charlottesville, Jordan Cornette and the Group with the huddle standing by. 8 o'clock start tonight at Scott Stadium at David A. Harrison III Field on the grounds. Syracuse fell to Wake Forest at home today. Clemson came from behind. And we get a timeout taken here by Virginia Tech. And if you missed the postgame Dabo Sweeney saying Trevor Lawrence will not play next Saturday at South Bend when the Tigers visit the Irish next Saturday night.
But Louisville, this offense has made it a little interesting here. It's Justin Fuente with the timeout.
You get a
starting to feel
touchdown
that as well.
You get a touchdown, and you still got 2 timeouts. You're looking at another onside kick.
Oh, and they've gotten close on 2 onside kicks.
Yeah, James Mitchell's made 2 great plays.
James Mitchell has. One was a one-handed snag down the field on a deeper one that, honestly, if that tips off his hands, Louisville's got a shot at it.
Yep.
And the other one, they had a chance. The high hop goes over their player, and James Mitchell's able to field it. So Louisville's onside kick game has been pretty good. You don't want to get in a situation where you need one of those.
Tell me what you think tonight at 8. Carolina, Virginia.
Well, I just don't. Virginia's going to have to score points.
Right.
And I just don't know if they can do it consistently enough because the North Carolina offense, let's just say, is hitting on all cylinders. They are in midseason form.
By the way, I like any rivalry where both schools take the same game and call it a win.
Yeah. Yeah, you know it's a rivalry when they don't agree on the overall
number of meetings, or they take the same game and each school says they won that game. Here's Cunningham out of the Virginia Tech timeout, and he will throw it away. So now it's 4th down. Got forced out of there by Barno. It's a 1956 meeting, by the way, between Carolina and Virginia that is under review for both schools. Carolina won the game. They later, because of an ineligible player in 1956, it was taken away from them. So Virginia also claims it as a win.
Wes, there's only one of the 3 of us that was broadcasting in 1956. Me and Roddy have no comment on that one.
That's very kind of you. Thank you for recognizing my distinguished effort in research. I was not at the 56 game.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, it's all alleged. Here's Cunningham. Got to get the first down, if nothing else. Wide open is Hawkins. Malik Cunningham flew it right to the edge of the envelope.
We start calling Malik Cunningham the magician. He got out of an incredible predicament earlier in the drive where he splits 2 defenders, and then on this one just scrambles and scrambles, but watch the path of Hawkins out of the backfield. He's starting to block. He sees his quarterback's in trouble. Malik Cunningham just flicks it out there, finds his running back, and he gets into the end zone. And now it's interesting, Wes. Virginia Tech's got to recover an onside kick.
11 plays, 76 yards, 223. Turner's point is good. It is a 7-point game with a minute to go. So, hold on here, fellas.
Wes, we were talking about the previous onside kick attempts for the Louisville Cardinals. I just got word. The guy who ran past the ball on the last onside kick attempt was actually Javian Hawkins. He wears number 0 on special teams because they're going to have Rod J. Burns and Javian Hawkins in here to try and recover this onside kick. And I mentioned the last time, pay attention to the front line of Virginia Tech, using a lot of defensive linemen. If you can get the ball at one of those guys that can bounce off of them, generally you see a lineup full of receivers, defensive backs, guys that are used to catching the football. Interesting alignment here for the Hokies.
All right, there is Hawkins.
I think that's actually Burns this time because Hawkins just came off the field and he's wearing the 10. So that's got to be Rajay Burns.
Wow.
You see Hawkins there.
Look at that.
This is what gets you. You love this, Wes. The double numbers on special teams.
You're right. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the whole deal right here, isn't it? The double numbers. And the unannounced 0, by the way, is my other favorite part. Here it is. Chalfant trying to see if 3rd time's the charm for Louisville on the onside kick.
Virginia Tech's going to try and cheat and get another guy to decide they think it's going to.
Here it is. Back to the left. It was recovered by Hawkins. Did the Hokies call a timeout?
Before the kick, delay of game. The play clock ran out. 5-yard penalty. Free kick.
All right. Virginia Tech had one left.
There was an incredible cat and mouse game going on there because Louisville's standing up there, and you see the signal comes in from the sideline, and Virginia Tech's trying to cheat and send a player over to the side. They think it's going, but Louisville's switching it back depending on where the player goes. And ultimately it costs them because the play clock runs out. But the cat and mouse game, Virginia Tech trying to see where Louisville's going with the football.
Go the other way this time. Here's Chalfant. They're going to go the other way. Ball skips, and it is recovered by Robinson at the 44. So Tavion Robinson just falls right on it at the 44. Louisville has 2 timeouts and 59 seconds left.
It was quite honestly either great scouting or a massive gamble by Tavion Robinson, because if Chalfant kicks that normally, like you see an onside kick, kicks it hard, he's charging that ball and it goes over his head.
Right.
But perhaps because of the way it's gone so far, they scouted it out.
Right.
He's able to field it, and Virginia Tech, as long as they don't fumble, looks like they'll get out of here with a win.
2 timeouts. Cunningham will hand to Herbert. And they will make the tackle. And there's the timeout by Scott Satterfield with 51 seconds left after a 3-yard run. Malik Cunningham, by the way, after the touchdown to Hawkins, fellas, a career high 350 yards passing in the ball game for Cunningham from Montgomery, Alabama.
And for asking, well, why doesn't Virginia Tech just take a knee here? If you were to take a knee, that doesn't take out enough time. Louisville has the 2 timeouts. So you take a knee, and you get down to 50-ish, or excuse me, you have a little more time left on the clock. It would have been 53, 54 seconds.
Right.
Take another knee, you're down to 52, 51 seconds. Then you have to run another play on 3rd down. So you're hoping to get the ball, get the time down to around 40 seconds for 4th down, so you don't have to run that last play.
Right.
And Louisville down to only 1 timeout now because they had to use a timeout earlier in the red zone. The play clock was running down. Scott Satterfield, instead of taking the delay of game, decided to opt to use a timeout. And oftentimes when you burn them in those situations, they come back to haunt you.
Here's the give again to Herbert, who breaks free. And he'll have the 1st down to the 30-yard line. And the ball game will end right there. Scott Satterfield takes the headset off. And with 35 seconds left, there's about a 3-second differential in the play clock and in the game clock here, Roddy. And Virginia Tech, disappointed last Saturday night in Winston-Salem with a touchdown loss at Wake Forest, is going to get to 4-2. All of it in the ACC. And Liberty next week before a very difficult final stretch.
Yeah,
in league play.
You tip your cap to Louisville for making it interesting down the stretch, making it close. But the response from Virginia Tech is exactly what you wanted to see, especially from this Virginia Tech offense. The ability to run the football. Hendon Hooker, incredible efficiency. Is still yet to throw an incomplete pass today.
That's right. Hendon Hooker, perfect, 10 for 10, 183 yards. Khalil Herbert delivers 147 yards on Halloween.